Hey everybody, what is happening? Ish, and I am back with another one of my Madden 16 Ultimate Team Free Raider ebook series. This is the shotgun set. This is the 4th episode in the shotgun series, the 7th overall out of all of it. This is going to be focusing on 16 and 18 mainly, and then I have one play in the middle. So we're starting off. This is the doubles Y. This is 16. Doubles Y flex offsets the formation there. This is the fork wheel. We're taking RB. We're blocking him. We're taking Y, motioning right, and B is on a slant. As you can see, this is kind of a quick hitter. If you're going to go for underneath with the Y and the B, the way they're crossing, I look for the zones to see if they're going to hit that early or not. Not really for Y breaking up. And then if I don't like what I'm seeing there, again, you're always going to have the outside here with the as you're breaking out and the outside route there. Any of the flags and C routes and stuff like that are normally effective if you get man coming. So this can beat a couple things coming in. Normally, obviously, it's not something I'm going to run one in and need a lot of yards, but my second 5, 6 areas like that, this should get me the first down, something like that. And on occasion, you might get the chance of a Y breaking free down the middle if they run some cover twos, which could be nice. But basically, that's I think this book in itself, or these couple sets, again with the slot is some decent action. We'll have some of the deeper stuff come up a little bit later in one of the plays, but overall, I kind of like these two formations a lot. I'll run a decent amount of these. This play is more of a situational run. As see, we're hitting it over the top there, so it can be dependent on how much you guy can jump. Your player in that spot. As you see how Y is right in there. And again, the pass leads and stuff like that, when you're going to hit the middle of the field, this is going to be important. He dropped out and he's open there, but you got to make sure that I'm going to give like an away pass lead from wherever the defender is. And you see, sometimes you're going to get him coming across and you're going to chase the top guy off. And these type of plays are one where, the user might follow that Y route coming across also. So you're going to be wanting to hit that underneath. That's the one thing, when you're running practice, you kind of got to, it's tough to anticipate. You got to figure out basically what your opponent might do in those situations too. We know that this stuff is going to beat the computer. It's going to beat guys who run on the defensive line, but I know we do have to account for that user in there. That's a big part of Madden. So that's one thing we're trying to also do is run the user off of certain routes and then hit him underneath on that one if you want. And outside stuff makes it hard for him to chase. Now we're going to go into angle smash. So again, shotgun 16, angle smash. We're going to put B on a drag. RB, we're going to motion left, and X is going to be on a streak. And here we're going to be looking Y, RB, and then B is the way it breaks down. You see, the cutback routes I was a big fan of last year. And the Y circle runs is one of the routes like that was big. And this is just another way to get that out there. And then you also can kind of break to the outside if need be. And if you don't like it, they're covered. Like those guys were covered there. There's a check down. You have to take that sort of stuff. I mean, don't force things that aren't there. Like right there, you don't. That's not what you wanted. That wasn't why you ran to play. But you got to do the check downs when you guys aren't open. I mean, not every play is going to work every time. But I see a lot of these when they're hitting a lot of those cuts there. If you can time it just right, it's going to be really good on him. Because that's one thing. We got a lot of plays to move down the field. We just don't have to force interceptions. Even a lot of these plays you're going to get first downs from. When you got them down. So there's but there's going to be times where there's going to be covered. So that's what the thing that's tough for me. I know for everybody is trying not to force the ball in certain ones, and then really working on your pass leads. In a lot of these, because that's also what's going to buy you the room, and then knowing where the guys cut. And I think the biggest thing also this year is going to be. Obviously, knowing when guys are about to run into other players, since that happens so often, you got to have to anticipate it's jacking up your route. You know what I mean? So you might check off of guys, when you know that they're coming around, because they might bump a player and then pretty much just screw you on the route, and that's a big problem in this game still. So again, on the angle smash was a B drag, RB motion left, X on a streak. You see it right there, the way that breaks down. And I have a lot of time, so I'm allowed, just for the heck of it, to show you can let that be, hit the sideline, and just go straight up it. That kind of goes when you have routes that hit the sideline and do that sort of stuff. There's a couple things I could do, but it's not the way I'd say recommend to run it, but it's an option. This is the Z spot, 16, Z spot. A is on a streak. Y, we are motioning right. B is on a drag, and I'm going to block the running back also. So this one does have a fourth move in that one. So if you're not on it quick, you're going to burn up too much time if you're not ready to call a play early. That's pretty much all you have to do with some of these plays. As long as you are in the book and you're calling them fast, you're going to be fine with running 3. I run probably an average of 3 a lot of times. of the moves that I make on here. But I find that it's a good book. I'm creating a lot of space. I'm trying to attack users in certain ways, and I think that overall I found a lot of success in this last year. And I think this is even better this year. I think my offensive scheme is better this year. And if you can run inside zones and wide traps, especially. You're really going to have a lot of success in this and in the running game. I don't go over that. I could put one out that just shows the basic runs I will be using and stuff, but for the most part, those are the successful runs. You have to be able to know when to bounce runs out and cut, all that sort of stuff in here. It's an open running scheme, and you want to have passing scheme for sure. So you want to have it in the running game also. So again, though, with the Z spot is an A streak, Y is motioning right, B is on a drag, and RB is block. So yeah, I got 9 for you today. So this one is going to be a little bit longer. So hang in. Pretty much giving you about a couple minutes on each play, so you can kind of see the different formations, where I'm looking at, where the reads are on that one. And so forth. And again, and on the kick down stuff like there, I'm not making the guy miss, but even on those when you're hitting the drags on these, one guy missing sometimes is still going to get you chunk yard, big plays, So there is something in that also, but and I'm trying to get a decent amount of drags and stuff in there. You have to be aware of the situations when the rush is coming too, So if you can get to the point where you can feel that, know when to hit these, and then always try and pay attention on a place where your hot route guys are. You've got your B cutting real fast, and then if you have it a little bit longer, you have Y cutting out there, which are man beaters. And then the last play out of 16, this is going to be the play action read, the PA read. A is going to be on a streak, RB is on a block, and X is on a drag. Yay, we're not motioning anybody. So that's pretty much what that's going to look like. And as you can guess, that Y route coming around the top is really what we're looking for there. There, I'm able to fit it in nicely between defenders. Depending on the zones, it's going to kill those. And it is going to get away from a lot of man. As long as you have a decent receiver out there, you're going to get off a lot of man coverage. So again, that's why I do typically, as I said before, my slot guys, because they run a lot of these type of routes in there, I really want them to be my best overall receiver. I don't need them to be necessarily huge jumping guys, but you do want some speed. You do want the acceleration, but you need the catching traffic. Catching traffic huge, and I do want route running in it. I want to be, and if you can, you got to be able to get off the press. So. That overall, that's why I put the most money out, into that spot normally. I don't in any play. Obviously, you guys could run a streak and throw that out there. I mean, that stuff. You can read cover 3 out there. If you see cover 3, you can man up your outside guy. That stuff can be done anytime. So that's why I don't bother showing stuff like that here, because what's the point in that? And that's just that everybody does that sort of thing. There's no point in showing you guys 4 streaks. 4 verticals. It's just this is the stuff. If you're gonna actually try and get down, have a higher percentage, and really just kill that defender out there. Break their spirit down. I've had these going down. You get down 2-3 plays sometimes in these and just take somebody down. So I think it's a pretty good offense, at least for that, if you can make your reads, like I say. But again, for the last one here for the 16, which was the double Y flex offset formation and the play action read, it is an A streak, RB block, and X is drag. I don't really hit that B guy out there as much. You can keep an eye on that, but you're normally floating a guy. You're running streaks on a guy in his area, so if you throw that, he can break off there and attack that. So just keep in mind, I tried not to run that one. You can sometimes run double streaks on the outside if you want, though, just to try and open up that underneath Y route. But that Y route's going to be pretty dang effective for the most part. And now we're going to go. This is going to be in 17 in here. Just one I wanted to add, not a whole formation by any means, not a scheme out of it, but I do run this for decent yards for an amount of time. So all I'm doing is taking the running back on this flanker dig, motioning him out left and putting the running back left, and then from there, if you want, you can put like A on a drag, so that way you've got the fallback. Or you can put B on a streak also, or leave him where he's at. Sometimes it's nice to have B on a streak for your deep stuff if that's what you need. But as you can see, the running back, I'm going to have a fast guy there. Sub in a Druck McKinnon or a Dre Archer, somebody. Well, Dre don't have to go Chris, but somebody, if his speed and can catch. I got Chris Johnson, if he's not winded at that point, I can put him, but McKinnon for me works really good for a cheap guy. So there's going to be a decent amount of times where you can get that cover 2s, you can get that inside pass lead off that streak coming in really good. Otherwise, you're going to hit this underneath route of him. And there's also that left pass lead, but for me, the left pass lead I don't do early because these linebackers will jump that underneath route. You won't see it. Even if they look open, it's tough. And there's the underneath route, which is really nice also at times. If you get good blocking, blocking. The X receiver is really good cutting underneath. To keep in mind, on this one, you've only got 5 guys blocking. If they're going to run a blitz in there, and you're not hitting that A receiver, that's about your only real good option, unless you might catch the streak. You might catch a streak, but just keep in mind when you only have 5 guys blocking any of those type of plays that you really got to keep an eye on the pressure. And know where your hot read is. But a lot of times you're going to get good spacing off the X receiver off of his streak route, because any of those slot type streaks can be effective in cover 3s and some cover 2s, as you see, if you let it develop longer. And like I say, all I did was take the RB, motion him left, and A, I put on a drag. And sometimes, like I say, it's optional if you want to put B on a streak or not. That's whatever. But then you see him again coming around underneath that X route. If the blocking's there and I feel like I've got time, I'll let that X route break underneath a lot of times. And that's where I get a lot of yards. I've hit that already a few times pretty big in the games I've played so far. And again, but jeez, if you get that speedy running back out there, though, like I said, this is a quick hit for him. You know what I mean? They were not necessarily seeing that coming, but if you get that speed, you definitely can take that to the house in his position too. A lot of times I get the big play with the X receiver, but I haven't really had him break away from it. But I'll still take that 30-40 yards. There's no complaints on that. So we're gonna get to the last formation. We got 4 plays here, and definitely something at the end to check out. But we're gonna get into 18, which is flip trips Raiders. So we got a Raiders formation unique to them. It's going to be Oak post shot. Is going to be the first play, and so the Oakland post shot. I'm going to put Y block, RB is drag, and B is slanting. As you can see, it doesn't look as impressive. When I first seen it and I started messing around, I'm like, that didn't look like it was going to amount to anything. But I've actually found it to be quite effective with the A receiver coming across. He gets into a nice spot, and the check downs are pretty easy to hit. It's a good flow for you to hit. If you see that, if you've got time, you can let him. Even though they get bumped up, I had time, so it was okay there. But you can. I'm looking for that A guy off the line first, seeing how he's going to release in there, and along with the RB, and and the B's behind him if need be. So you've got a few areas. If the user locks onto your first guy, which he should, you can probably hit that B trailing because he's going to take that middle linebacker out of the zone. So watch that. We're looking for A, but if the user jumps on A, you definitely want to hit B behind because more likely that guy's going to be wide open. Because he'll get off man coverage and there's not going to be another linebacker if there's a zone in the middle because that's where the user coming from more than likely. Nice, fairly effective. I like this. I definitely like this formation. Got a few things in here we're running. I see coming across there. Nice. So now it's one of the routes. It's just one of those guys. He's going to get open a lot. Again, the slot in this one, it's going to get open a high percentage that I have found against a lot of zones and man. So a good user is about the only thing. He's the biggest threat of it all for the A receiver there. But like I say, if not, you've got your check downs with B right behind him. You can go to, and even underneath if you have the time there. If it breaks right, RB if he hasn't gone too far to the sidelines, so there's me just kind of hit him showing. I probably still could hit up there, but just to show that. Again, that was Y block, RB drag, B slant on the Oak post shot. So now we're going to go into the next one. This next play is going to be the Oakland verticals. Oak verticals, again, we're in 18, flip trips Raiders. On this one here, we're going to put X on a streak. A is going to motion left, and B is going to be on a drag. And as you can see here, I'm really looking at the spacing created at the when A and Y breaks on this one. To see if A is going to be open. He's going to be covered a decent amount, but that Y is going to be able to be open quite a bit though himself. Kickdown's going to be there a lot. The RB is not exactly something I really would shoot for. He's going to be covered a lot on man. You think he'd be open. Sometimes he will be off the line, but that's why I'm not looking at him. Normally because I'm looking to the left to be. And to note, I guess I finally have started writing this down like in a Word program, and something that I could probably email out or figure out maybe some way to get that. So I can show you what I look at, and I have a written form of all this stuff in front of me. I have it's like 4 pages for everything in it, but as I said before, it's not something you want to run every single thing. You know what I mean? You just find formations you want or certain plays or whatever is your style, make it work. I try to give enough because so that it's everybody has different tastes. So certain plays you're gonna like, certain other guys won't. So you have enough to choose from at least after by the time I'm done. Like I say, I've got one more video to go, 2 more formations. I will be doing 19 and 20. So this is 7 more plays I believe to go after this one, and then it's just wrapped up. So hopefully if you enjoying that, you've got some more plays now to work with, or if you're just wanting the other content, I've got 2 more of these and I'm done. I'm done focusing on it, not paying so it goes back to gameplays, reviews, and stuff like that, getting on players more. So just for that update part of it. And again, on the Oakland verticals, it's an X streak, A motion left, B drag. All right, now we're getting to what do we got here? 2 more left. We're gonna have the Oakland halfback angle. Again, this is 18 shotgun, 18 flip trips Raiders. Oakland halfback angle, Oakland HB angle. RB is going to be on a drag, and we're going to motion Y out to the left. That's all we're doing on this one. Nice, only a couple moves there. You see right there. Sometimes you hit those guys in that right cut. They're going to kind of get you in the stop route in a sense there if you don't let them bank around. That was just showing, hey man, if I want to throw a streak and run a jump ball, that's just what you're doing, as I said before, just for the heck of it. But again, Y is going to be the guy normally I'm kind of looking at first, see where he's breaking. RB can be a drop down if need be. You've got that fast break, and A is going to be what you're kind of get this Y and A down the field as they get going, see which one's more appealing as they break. So those are going to be your guys. You're hitting deeper. Right off the bat, it's easier for me to look at Y though and see where the coverage is, where he's going to be at. Sometimes I want to hit that early, but sometimes if I see a linebacker chasing like that, I'll wait till I know that I'm going to cross him and then make the throw, especially if I don't feel a rush. There you go down. See, you got both guys coming, but again, that they can hit a certain area there. It's kind of nice. So with all the bumping also, it's going to hit differently so many times. It's going to like that. The spacing's completely different on that play. So for the most part, though, I do like that. It's one of those reversed C type things. That we used to run Gronk on, but we're getting the running back on this, a little bit quicker of a guy in there. And then we've got, like I say, RB in a blitz situation here, and you can see the way that one breaks that time. We can hit him a little bit earlier in his route out there on the outside on that A route. So it's a good one. And again, you get your running back in some reaction, and you can get some tight end for some stuff, and then again. But the big play here on this time is going to be done on the slot. So the slot again, it gets a decent amount in these formations. And let's see. But again, with the Oakland HB angle was the RB drag, Y motion left. Again, you're kind of looking at A Y RB. And so and then the forums I look at, I'll have it saying that I'll have different colors so just it stands out better, and then I'll have the 3 receiver breakdown, this one being the A Y RB, kind of where I'm stuff I'm looking at for routes or whatever, and then I kind of put on what side of the field it works also, because some go a certain direction, so I want to know the direction that the play is normally going to be designed on. Last play in the 18, the flip trips Raiders, is going to be curl flat. And it's going to be X is going to be on a streak, A is going to be on a slant, and B is going to be on a drag. And then there's something weird that happens at the end of this play too, to see if you once you figure this one out. But again, was the X streak, A slant, B drag for the curl flat, and we're looking at Y, A, and then B, kind of in that motion there, the way they're coming across. Again, now this one, that's a deeper tight end one is getting the deep route on that, the way he's breaking there. But as you can see, you've got guys and multiple guys open on a lot of plays between the 3 of them. On Y, you can see real early if you see anybody floating out to Y, we jump off of him, then we go downfield. That's the way I'm looking at that. If no one runs out with him, I'll take him and get that free first down every time. But otherwise, I can look downfield and kind of split my eyes between that A and that and that RB route. See which one. Try to look in between so I can see who's breaking better. And a decent amount. You're going to make a good chunk yards. I found a decent amount of plays here. It's always going to be coverage dependent on that, but that's what it does. If you want ever. You can screw around, and instead of bringing a B on a drag, you try and put him on a streak also. Just if you're looking for just only deep play, you're not worried about the blitz in there, you can do that just to try and even get that coverage further back for that route to come across. But let me see. You could be either effective in another one. And in an early man, that A is going to be, he's going to be still fast, open pretty fast. Unless it's like a turbo fast nano type, coming blitz. Then you got to just hope you can get that quick B shot out there and then turn them up. That's about, there's a lot of you can do there. On certain ones, you can try and motion guys over and then snap it just to eat them up as blockers and lose them as the route also, though. As long as they're off the line. I mean, they have to be, as you can see, like the slot there, how he's behind the line. Then you can motion snap them and stop them behind. But again, this is the last one here. Was the curl flat. X is going to be a streak, A is a slant, and B drag display. As you see, is going to be floating out mainly to the left, a little mid, little left, but mainly left. And you've got a YAB, or RB you can be looking at on that. And then here at the end of this one, I don't know how I did this, unfortunately, so I can't tell you what happened there. But if you watch, as I'm cycling through on this play, A specifically, all of a sudden, look at that. He's running a zig, but his zig now is reversed. And I see that, and I'm like, what? So I put him on a slant, and his slant is now reversed. Now, if I was running this normally and this happened, I would have put B probably on a streak, and then A would come underneath him even better. But I don't know how I did this. I've tried to run it in slow motion and see if I could the combinations of buttons, but I couldn't. But it's out there. There's something out there. You can flip this around. So I'll see you guys next time. One more to go, man.